singing in the shower thinking I was doing it myself. And I just started hearing the musicianship more. And then Eddie's solo is extremely unique. And I'm not a guitar player, but I hear what he did with this guitar in the solo. And it's just like, wow, that is an incredible, even though it's short, it's not like a live Dazed and Confused. It was short and it just was an incredible composition. Somebody wrote that. When I hear that, I'm like, wow, that's a trip that somebody actually created that. I think it works out great. And then even Michael Anthony in that song, everything fit perfect. I don't know if it was a chemistry or whatever happened, but whatever happened, it came together and my ears hear it. And I'm watching on all these Van Halen sites now that there's so many out there now since Eddie's passing that it's a lot of people's favorite song. And I'm not a favorite song guy. But I think that was just one of their best compositions.
Are you a favorite album kind of guy? And if so,
I'm not either. I'm not a favorite album person either. As a matter of fact, when Diver Down came out, it didn't click with me really well until I saw the tour and I saw the show. I was like, oh, I'm missing out. So, no, I'm not really a favorite album either. I'll mix it up.
Now, you mentioned in the book they didn't want the girls to be too pretty with Dave or else he'll get attached. And where did that whole thing come from?
So that was my friend Vivian. That's what she told me, whoever gave her the passes. She said that her and her friend Lori, who I know Lori too, we're all from Benicia. She said her and Lori were walking around the concert and some guy with backstage passes said, you girls want to go backstage? And he explained to her, I didn't know this happened until I talked to her when I was writing the book. He explained to her that, which is rude, that Dave doesn't really like really cute girls because of whatever reason that she said.
Oh, my God. That's brutal.
It's kind of rude to say that, but
that is brutal.
At the time, those girls didn't care. They weren't getting backstage.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I think that was just a line they were using, or is that actually true?
I don't know. I mean, Vivian and Lori were both really cute girls, but they weren't like these spandex, big hair, groupie girls. They were probably, if I had to guess, wearing jeans and a T-shirt or nothing fancy. And, they didn't wear a lot of makeup. They were pretty down-to-earth girls, and they still are. I still know them. And I just, when she told me that, I was like, oh, that's kind of rude. But Van Halen and their staff, most of them, they're pretty crass because they could be.
Yeah, they got away with a lot. So now, what was the most exciting part about being backstage with VH?
At the time, early 20s, late teens, I mean, it's really a boost on your ego. You're like, well, I'm backstage at Van Halen, right? I think that party at the hotel, I mean, being involved with them all, and except Dave, just, having that experience, that was probably the best thing, that seeing them actually not on stage, not on a TV show, just doing their thing, partying and having fun and being able to just be involved with that. Being sober at the time, I got to at least remember a lot of it. I eventually started using drugs and was backstage partying too and doing drugs. But
oh, wow. With VH?
I didn't do any drugs with them. I mean, I might have been drinking with them or something.
Okay.
I never laid out coke or anything else and did it with them.
Was there a lot of pressure to do that backstage?
No, there wasn't actually. You know what? When the cocaine was broke out, it was at the hotel, and it was, like I said, after midnight and in this one room. It wasn't broadcasted out the door. I don't know how Eddie found out. Maybe that's not why he was there. There wasn't a lot of pressure to do that. Most of it was all alcohol backstage.
Yeah, they're a big alcohol band, yeah. So now, how were the guys treating you? Like, how would you describe the personalities, Ed, Mike, and Al and Dave?
Well, Eddie was in passing because he was coming in the room and I was going out. Every other time I was backstage, I never saw him.
Okay.
David, whatever. He'd say, hey, he'd smile at you. Like I wrote in the book that one time when he was getting pot at, he looked at me and said, and it's all mine, right? And I was like, okay,
Good for you, Dave.
He was cool, but Dave was soaking it up. Every time I saw him, he was just soaking it up and having a blast.
Yeah.
The only time I actually encountered Dave was when me and Lisa went to the hotel in Berkeley. Before we got backstage, we just heard someone say they were staying at the Berkeley Marriott. So we went there and we walked around outside. We weren't courageous enough. And we saw Dave, and I'm guessing now that I've read the book, Noel Monk standing on a second-story balcony, just talking. We could hear the whole crazy party going on. They were just out there talking away, and they were right there. And we're like, hey, we just left the concert. Great show, whatever we said. And I think we must have asked him for an autograph or something. I don't remember. But what happened is he got called back into the room, into the party. So he went, and whoever was standing there, the guy in the suit or whatever, he said he'd send us a picture and autograph it. And Dave was just out there being really calm and not being Dave. He was just talking to this guy and said, hey, how's it going? And so that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever get the picture and autograph? Did they ever send you that?
Never got it.
That bastard.
I don't even know how we would have. Did we give him our address? I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Now, you mentioned earlier in this conversation that after 1984, that was it for you?
For their music, yes.
Okay. So what happened? You didn't like the whole Sammy Hagar era?
No, and I liked Sammy Hagar, but I didn't like that era. Nothing against the split up. I wasn't part of that. I was a big Kiss fan, and when they split up and got new members, I was all good with it. I went to their shows and all that. But it just didn't click. Even now, if I don't even know the songs, if something comes on the radio, I'll usually turn it because something changed. I don't know what it was.
Interesting. Bud, I'll have to ask you this question. I'm a Kiss fan, too. What is it about us Kiss fans? We're total whores for Kiss. It's interesting. It doesn't matter if it's Vinnie Vincent, if it's Eric Carr, or if it's Eric Singer, or if it's Bruce Kulick. We just love Kiss. Why does Kiss get that pass? They just get away with it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know. They were so unique, right?
Yeah.
And then when Ace and Peter left, it was like didn't faze us. Me and John and we still went. And I've never really bought a bunch of their music. I never really buy a bunch of anybody's music till CDs came around. Because I didn't really sit at home and listen to records very much. I was usually out running around. The same with Kiss. After Love Gun, it was kind of like whatever. But until then, I think once I reached my 20s and stuff, I saw every concoction of Kiss, I think, except this one. And so
you drew the line with the new version?
Well, a couple things. It really wasn't drawing the line. It's just, now $500 tickets. And, I'm 60, and do I really want to stand in line and go in the crowd? And I've outgrown it. But I got to tell you, when they did say this is it, I actually started contemplating maybe going to a smaller venue if they played close to my house. But I wasn't like, I got to go. When they reunited with Peter and Ace, obviously we went. I think I went to 4 of them, put my kids in makeup. Everybody went. From the Bay Area to Reno. But other than that, any version of Kiss, that's crazy, huh?
It's true. Now, tell me, how old are your kids?
Well, now one's 30 and one's 26. And then my wife's son, who's my stepson, he's close to 40 now, I think.
Oh, my God. So did you grow them up with Kiss and Van Halen and all that stuff?
Well, Kevin, her son, our oldest, he was already a Kiss fan as a teenager, which was after, their main heyday. He got into Kiss right as he was a teenager, just kind of like I did. He didn't have his room covered in posters, but he was a big Kiss fan. My kids just went along with it. My youngest, Carly, was just dressing up because she wanted to be the cat.
That's cool.
They wouldn't buy Kiss music or nothing.
Right.
Speaking of Carly, that's one of my regrets. Writing that book, I forgot to put her in, thanks to my daughter Carly for telling me to keep writing.
Okay. Well, we'll mention that in the piece here. So now also,
I feel bad about that.
No, that's okay.
But so the kids weren't. Kevin, the son, he was into Kiss. The girls, they could care less, but they did have fun at the concert, and they know the music and stuff.
Absolutely. So tell me, in terms of David Lee Roth, did you ever follow his solo career, or was that not something you were into?
I did. I like Dave's solo music. I never saw him live. I don't know why. I think when he was out doing his thing, I had 2 young kids, and I think it was just that going on. But I think I have at least one of his records. But I liked it.
Cool. In terms of when the band reunited with Dave and Wolfie at this point, taking over for Mike, you went to go see them, and what was your impression?
Okay, I went only because somebody called me and said, hey, we're going to Van Halen next weekend. I said, I'm kind of over it, and I'm over going to concerts for bands that I saw Ace Frehley at a really small club, and that was fun. But I was like, I don't know, it's just a little much. And my friend was a big Van Halen fan at the time, back in the day, and so he's recently married at the time. He's like, look, me and Chantel will pay your tickets and take you guys to dinner. Okay, we'll go. It was fun. It was just a reminiscent fun night.
Okay.
It wasn't magical for me.
Right. Well, listen, the book is called What About the Fans? A Rock and Roll Memoir by Bud Hathaway. He talks about other bands in the book as well, as Aerosmith and Heart and Bon Jovi, Led Zeppelin, Lynyrd Skynyrd, lots of cool bands in here. So congratulations on the book, Bud. I want to thank you for coming on, and thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and we appreciate you sharing your stories with us.
All right. Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
Where can people buy the book, Bud?
It's on Amazon.
Amazon.com,
Yep.
Bud Hathaway. Yep. His last name is spelled Hathaway, and he is the brother of Anne Hathaway. We're going to use that in there just to help sell books. I'm just kidding.
That's my wife's name.
Is it really? Oh, my God. Yeah. That's so funny. That's so funny. So, so get it on Amazon.com. What About the Fans? A Rock and Roll Memoir. He talks about all the different shows he went to throughout the years and his backstage shenanigans.
Right. And Bud, we're really glad that you didn't have such a good time that you didn't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
right.
That's right. That's right. Like, it's like when Ace Frehley wrote his book and he was like, "Hey, do me a favor. What happened between 75 and 77?
Whoa! How about that for rock video music fans? Live all day, all night. You know what you need. Only right here on Dave TV.
Check us out on Facebook at Dave and Dave Unchained, a Van Halen podcast, on Twitter at DD Unchained, on Instagram at DD Unchained Podcast, and you can email us at ddunchainedpodcast@gmail.com.
Hold on a second. I got to get it exact now, or else I'm going to have fucking Midwest Ron living up my a-hole here. Hold on. That's all I need is to get in more trouble, right? Oh, my Lord. Okay, hang on. Awesome, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. Just working away. Actually, just started on a new one of these, exactly like the Van Halen. We're going to do a Nazareth one.
Oh, wow, man. You never stop. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Isn't that like your 10,000th book?
Pretty much. 92, 93, something like that. But these are pretty easy. I mean, obviously, there's not a lot of words in them. But, I mean, it is a lot of work doing the photography, too. So.
I can imagine.
It looks like.
My whole life has been music. I could not imagine anything else. My whole life has been music. I could not imagine anything else. My whole life has been music. I could not imagine anything else. My whole life has been music. I could not imagine anything else. My whole life has been music. I could not imagine anything else.
Happy birthday to you. Keep smiling on the way. Boy, help us out. We sound sick. Hurry up. Who cares about the clouds when we're together on MTV? Just sing a song and think about something. One, two, three. It's Clever to you till we meet.